All we have to do is make them last the rest of our lives.
Thanks, SpongeBob. I think I'll eat it now. I think I'll eat it now.
So let's say that you're pretty good at saving money. You're not really a big spender. You don't really spend a lot on things, and you're pretty responsible, right? Except you're not, because at the end of the month, everything's gone and you're broke. What was the culprit? It was habitual spending. So what is habitual spending? It's spending habitually, meaning over and over again. I'm sure you know that already. I'll give you an example though. Like if you have $1 and you spend it on something, every day you buy something that costs like $1, you do that 7 times a week. For 52 weeks, that equals
$364.
So at the time, spending $1 every day on something doesn't seem that much, but over time it really stacks up. Now here's another example. I looked up coffee prices at Starbucks for a cup of their coffee frappuccino. There's mini, tall, grande, and venti. Here's a side note. I've actually never been to Starbucks before. I don't recall going in the store or buying anything from there because I don't really drink coffee and that's like their main thing. So I just never had a reason to go in there. So maybe I'll go one day if I get a reason, but for now, I don't have one. So I looked up the prices for coffee frappuccinos though. Turns out a mini is $2.95. If you got one, let's say 5 times a week because you have to work or something and you get a cup of coffee every single day, you spend $2.95 every single day, 5 days a week for 52 weeks in a year, which would be $153.40. If you got a tall, it would be $169 a year. If you got a grande, it would be $205.40 a year. And if you got a venti, it would be $231.40 a year. I give you that coffee example because there was a story I heard where this guy was buying coffee like every single day, and he was buying it I think he was buying it from Starbucks actually, instead of just getting like some coffee from the store. And when someone actually broke down to him how much he was spending on coffee every single month, and by like month and year, he broke down crying because he realized how much money he was losing. And it was really a sad revelation for him. So you don't want to end up like that. It's hard to catch, but the best way to catch it is to just look at your bank statement. Now I know most people, when the alert comes up, like your bank statement is ready, just look at it and they're like, okay, swipe it. Don't even look at it. Don't even pay attention to it. I don't need this for anything. But you do. All right, that's how you catch it, looking at your bank statement. Then you'll see everything that you've been doing. It'll tell you a lot about what's been going on with your money and where it's going. And even you can look at your bank statement even if you use cash to buy stuff, because you can still see the withdrawals unless you get paid in cash, which, I mean, what kind of work are you doing? What's that? You said it's none of my business? Got you. But I say this to say, right, this is how you catch it. If you spend in another way, like, okay, I know this guy, when I used to work at Target, there was this guy that if you remember when the stimulus checks came, the first one was like, I think $1,200. I was working in the electronics section, and the day after, or I think it was the day of, right when we got it, he came in and was like,
Let me get this $1,000 watch.
I'm like, dude, you working at Target and you're always complaining about how you're at the bottom and need money, and then you just get $1,000 out of nowhere and then drop it on a watch. Not everyone did that, but I'm just saying, if you spend like that, well, then it's obvious where your money is going because you have these big purchases. If you don't spend like that, but you're still not having a lot of money, then you may want to look at your bank statements because that'll tell you a lot. And by the way, I don't say this to say that you can't do stuff or that you should stop or that you have to stop or that it's not good. All I'm trying to say is you should know where it's going. Of course, you can still do it if you want to. If you look at your bank statement and you realize that you're dropping $3 on some item every 3 days, maybe you really want that item and you're not going to stop. You're not going to give up buying that item, and that's cool. But all I want you to know is that it's going, or where it's going. Just know that it's happening. I'm not telling you to stop. Just know that it's happening. But a lot of people, they just don't catch it because because it happens so insignificantly to them. Like, for example, if you're on a diet, right, and you're trying to lose weight, and you were pretty good on your diet, but you cheated, but in a really small way. Like maybe you didn't do something big, like eat a whole like slice of pizza or something, or eat like a meal. You didn't have a meal that was unhealthy, but you had snacks that were unhealthy. Like you had a Kit Kat here, or a Snickers bar there, or just a cup of juice, or like a bag of chips, a bag of small chips or something like that, right? But if you do that enough times, it'll delay your progress. And so at the end of the week, when you check your weight, you didn't lose anything. And then a lot of people will say like, oh, you know, I was so healthy on this diet and I didn't lose not even a 0.1 of a pound. Like there's no point in eating healthy because I can't lose weight anyway. But they don't know that actually it's because of all the cheating they're doing. But you don't realize it because it's really small and insignificant. If it was a meal, you might be able to catalog it. But if it's just like a cup of juice real quick, can you remember the last time you had a cup of juice? Can you remember the time before that? Or how about the time before that? Can you remember the last time you had a small bag of chips? Maybe you can, but maybe you can't, you know, I don't know. Or the last time you just put anything unhealthy in your mouth at all and ate it. If it's small enough and it's not at the time of your meal, it's not at dinner time or at breakfast time, it's like when you're walking down the street or when you're in your car or something, then you might forget that you had this or that you had that, and then it stacks up. You don't remember because it's insignificant, and it's insignificant because you do it all the time, and you do it all the time because it's habitual. See how I pulled that together? Anyway, that's all I gotta say. If you don't take anything from this video, at least look at your bank statements. It'll tell you a lot about where your money's going. In fact, it'll tell you a lot about who you are, because you'll know what you spend your money on. And this information goes out there to the world for whoever may need it in the future, whoever comes across this video. Look at your bank statements, know where your money's going. You don't gotta stop, but you should know. That's all I've gotta say. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.
No, I'm really just